Hello, and welcome along to episode 1 of Freedom Chasers. You guys will never know how complicated and difficult it was to get to the place that we are right now, but we are here. Pirates, welcome along. Friday nights are indeed back, although they may be sporadic for the future. I sound like a weatherman. Anyway, you guys might know these guys, but maybe not all at the same time, so why not know these guys? Today, I've got playing with me Josh, who just seems to follow me around a lot. Give us a wave, Josh. I have, just so that people know who you are, I have Bumpkin, who has rejoined us from the Friday that was, and henceforth will be again. I have Jack from our Sunday table, and I have Elora, who can't... Oh, no.
I'll say that I'm waving.
No, I've got something worse than that going on.
I know you're not Elora.
Elora from other places. Elora's art doesn't look anything like that. Just in case you were wondering, and it may soon look like it should in a second. This is just yeah. You know what? Everybody's faces are on the screen, and I'm taking huge credit for that. That is the success of today.
My tiefling looks a little different than I remember.
Yes, Elora's this tiefling. She doesn't have a confirm button. There we go. Fantastic. So, where are we and why are we? This campaign will be called the Freedom Chasers, and it begins far, far away in a place called Durban. Durban is a large port city. That just stopped, didn't it? It didn't start playing anything new, it just stopped. Well, we can't have everything. What was I saying? Durban. Yeah, Durban's a great place. You should go there. I don't know why nothing's working, but it'll work again shortly. Durban is a large port city out on the west of the archipelago, of Cormin in the archipelago, in our world of Mazraya, which is shared with many of our other campaigns. If anyone knows what the hell has happened to the music or the Roll20 or the pictures, please could they retrieve them, as nothing is working. Should we just start again, guys? I kind of feel like we should just start again. Why is it not doing anything? No, don't cut. We'll just mooch along. Well, fuck it. Have a duck pond in the meantime while nothing else is working. There you go. There should be some quacking going on, if nothing else.
There's some birds tweeting. Lovely.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very duck pondy, does it? Okay, well, this is great. Okay, let's go back to the home page. That might fix some things. They're giving me a new version of Roll20, and it's very nice of them, except for the fact that it doesn't work very well. Which sort of makes it not very nice of them in the slightest. Yeah. Thanks, Roll20 peeps. Okay, back to the point. Yeah, Freedom Chasers, welcome along. This campaign starts in the west of Cormin, which is an island in the archipelago, at a large port called Durban. This port is a sort of place where you can find all sorts of trouble, and you guys still can't see it, can you? No.
No.
How about
I'm
now?
afraid to say no.
How about now? Can we see it now?
Yeah, there we
Okay.
go.
Did it,
I guess I assume that's it.
Okay, but it hasn't. Oh,
It's like,
Got
come
Hogwarts
on!
in the
It's
background.
I was literally just gonna say that. It's like Hogwarts, but let's see.
that right there.
Sogwarts.
That right there is one of the largest parts of the Mages Guild. What do you call them? Guilds, outposts, buildings, premises, headquarters, whatever you call them. It's one of their... They've got lots of them, but that particular one is quite big. In fact, one of the largest ones of those particular things that we don't have a word for. Durban is the sort of place you can get in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of smuggling going on and a lot of corruption. Yet even there, some people just don't fit in. I don't know how much information you guys want to give about your characters, but suffice to say that all 4 of our characters are... There's sound, isn't there? Look at that! You're only 10 minutes late, medieval harbour, medieval ambience! Yeah, what was I saying? Something about nobody fits in. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? We've done all this effort to get here, and we're just about to leave. That's what we like to see. each one of these people, these wonderful players, is leaving the city for a different reason. But all of you are leaving with the same person. Today, it is sort of third or fourth day of the month. It's early springtime. It's a cold morning. There is a light speckling of rain, a little dew on the grass. And you've all signed on with a caravan belonging to Willis. Willis is a rather quirky fellow, a merchant that will be travelling to Novena. And each one of you, for one reason or another, has decided to join the caravan. Some of you are riding and some of you are guarding. Can I have some information on who is doing what, please? Who is signed on as a guard and who has paid a copper piece to be taken?
Would you like us to also introduce our characters? at this
No,
time?
not yet. Nope, I just
Okay,
want to
I'm
know.
guarding.
You're guarding. Okay.
I've paid.
I've signed on as a guard. I've got no money.
Okay. And Dinari, are you...
I'm a guard as well.
Okay, so 3 guards and 1 paying customer. So, as the wagon sets out, one person is sat in the back, but what do they look like? Josh, please tell us. What do they look like? Who are you playing? What is their name? Just their class and a description of what they look like.
Sure. So I am playing William Hale. He is a half-elf sorcerer. He is currently wearing quite fancy attire. I do have somewhat of a picture to put in chat. AI art doesn't like to give you a full body, so just pretend he's wearing like matching trousers and black shoes. But he's wearing basically like this deep purple suit with matching trousers. I mean, he's got really finely made black leather gloves. His hair's currently down and slightly curled at the end. He's not really dressed for travel, but he kind of looks like he's trying to somehow go unnoticed.
Mm-hmm. He's a bit ostentatious in his dress. Is that fair to say? Yep, okay. And as this cart is sort of rambling along, you'll note that there is one other paying customer who sits opposite you. A fairly young-looking halfling, maybe 18 or 19, female. She's got curled ginger hair and a bright speckling of freckles, and she's nose deep in a book, and has paid no attention to anyone. Looking closely, you think she was not related to Willis. They definitely, the way they interact, it seems like they know each other. She's definitely taken this journey before. And she answers all questions with various versions of and walking alongside the cart, Laura, what do you look like? What is your class?
I am playing Anivari. She is a purple-skinned tiefling with bright blue hair and a single horn. She's wearing armor. She's also mounted, walking along.
Well, I would assume, leading said mount. I would assume at this point, because
you're in the city.
Yeah, you're just coming out through the sort of exit area. You haven't quite made it out into the hills yet.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah. Leading a large bay horse named Atreides, who did not have a token. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Didn't mention that
but we'll
before,
have a
put it
picture
out.
shortly for stream.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. She's wearing heavy armor, got some weapons. Just looks your typical mercenary type.
Mm-hmm. And your class is?
Paladin.
And you're a paladin. Marvelous. And a tiefling. Yes. Did we mention that? Maybe you mentioned that. I don't know. But
I did mention that.
Okay, cool. Speaking of tieflings, there is another tiefling also walking alongside the cart. Also signed on as a guard. Bumpkin, please could you let us know who you're playing and what they look like in their class?
Mm-hmm. So I am going to be playing Dinari. She is a tiefling fighter. She's got kind of this light ashen grayish skin with fully black eyes and a pair of curling horns that kind of almost kind of point towards the back of her head as well. I also have a little bit of a picture of what she'd be wearing for an outfit, but the best way to describe it is it's almost like a leather trench coat where the top half has almost been modified to look like a typical set of leather armor. She's got, all the belts, all these pouches listed around. She's got multiple weapons that she's got holstered in different areas around her body. And right now, she's just like walking along the cart and just taking a good scan of the area. I'm taking right now, and I'll post that picture into the chat in just a second.
And she's a fighter, is that correct? Bumpkin, she's a fighter. Yeah.
That was a thumbs up.
Oh right, okay, yes, I can't see these things. What do you take me for? Cool. And then walking perhaps a little behind, I think. Maybe looking like even in this particular group, he doesn't quite belong. Wandering a little way behind, perhaps looking up to the sky quite often. Jack, would you care to describe your character? Tell us who they are and what class you are.
Yep, so I'm playing Weary. I'm a human ranger. I am pretty old, actually. I'm in between middle-aged and like elderly. And I'm wearing a lot of clothes. But you can slightly see leather armor poking through, but I've got like a big like surely scarf type thing that I've wrapped around my shoulders and that's got holes in it. And then I got like this shabby leather coat that's tattered. And then I've got like multiple pairs of pants because like it's all loose fitting though, but because like I'm wearing like all the clothes that are on me and they've got so many holes in them that I need to wear them all in order to fully cover myself up.
Nice.
And the most like sort of thing on me, I guess, is my boots. I've got a relatively nice pair of leather boots.
Nice. Boots made for walking.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm carrying in one hand a large crossbow, and in the other hand I've got slung over my shoulder a large sack full of like stuff. And then I've also got a backpack. On top of that, I'm just carrying a lot as well. I just look like I'm like sort of waddling and like trying to, sort of like keep up with the group, but I'm like, I'm a wiry fellow, so, it's sort of I'll lag behind a little bit, then I'll speed up, and then I'll lag behind a bit, then I'll speed up, and I'll look into the skies every now and then, because every now and then you can hear a little squawk and squeak from above, as you can hear a fellow of mine, a pet that I have, who if you got a good look at, looks like a larger version of a seagull, and looks like they're about to die. It looks like they're on their last legs. They've got tattered feathers, not a lot of feathers remaining, and they just look grumpy. They look grumpier than me, and I'm a grumpy old bastard.
And as the four of you, Cantankerous Tim, Willis, and the halfling who's given no name, no information, leave the city gates, you do hear a few muttered remarks from the guards out and around, mostly to the tune of good riddance. Although you do hear one very specifically say, about time we got the demon spawn out of town. They're not very friendly. And to be honest, I think perhaps Dinari and Anivari, you're probably a little used to this. Whether you spent your entire life growing up in Durban or whether you were only passing through, nowhere truly seems to feel like home for a tiefling. There are lots of people who sort of accept their presence and their existence and allow them to get on with their lives, and there are lots of people who don't, much like real life. But as these remarks go passing over your head, Willis turns round and he sort of, "Did you get that treatment everywhere?"
I'm used to it.
Right. Doesn't make it any better, does it?
don't really care what they think.
And you? Looks to Dinari.
Typical.
Aye. Well, you can use a blade and don't get me in trouble. It'll be fine. All of you seem to have your reasons for leaving. You're looking forward to getting to Navani. Wherever the fucking place is called. Navinia. Fucking, I don't know. The end of the road. You're looking forward to it?
Okay.
No. Always lost me. You're looking forward to it? New start, new place. All that.
Not really looking for a home.
Right. The road's your home, is it?
For now.
You see? What of you? He sort of looks back and he doesn't really know how to address you, William. He just sort of... You can see because he's turned, he's staring straight at you. He doesn't want to be rude and call you, like, nobleman or sir or anything like that, but he also didn't take your name.
What did he ask?
What of you? You're looking forward to getting to Navina.
I look up at him rather sheepishly. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting out of here.
See? You're running away. Is trouble gonna follow us?
It shouldn't.
Indeed, it shouldn't. Couldn't agree more, to be honest. Well, trouble always follows Raleigh back there, doesn't it? She's sort of the halfling. She goes back to her book. Says no more. After a while, he sort of looks back over at you, Warian. Sure you don't want to put that bag on the back of the wagon?
Oh, no, all good, mate. I'm coming along just fine.
Right. Doesn't look like it. But,
No, we're all good. I take my heavy crossbow and I've got this big, makeshift hook thing that I chuck it on the front and it carries it for a moment as I reach in to bring the sack around. I reach into my bag and I make a bit of a whistle, and then you see my bird come down and grab something off of my hand that I hold up. It's just so obviously a bit of dried fish or something like that.
thing gonna shit on us?
Nah, mate, it really likes to shit on my head for some reason. And I just, he'll be what he is. He'll be all right. He's good. He'll keep an eye out for us. Make sure we're all good and safe. No trouble will be following us with him around.
I see. Very well. And he sort of sniffs a couple of times. Talkative fellows. Says to himself a little quietly, and then he begins to whistle a little tune. Then he stops every now and again to take a big drag on his pipe and go back out. And leaves you guys to chat amongst yourselves. Or not, depending on how chatty you're feeling.
I will give a bit of a skeptical glance back at the old man who's barely keeping up, but is also hired as a guard. And also got a pet bird. You trained a bird. For what?
Oh, me and Tim, we've been together for forever. It feels like he's gonna outlive me, the old bastard. But no, I'm just out in the sea. I used to be a barrelman up in the crow's nest. I just found him one time, and he seemed to take a right shine to me. It's the first thing on this bloody in the whole wide world that took an interest in me. So we sort of have this sort of weird understanding, weird agreement that we got each other's backs. But yeah, no, I'm good. you know, we're right. She'll be right, mate. She'll be right. You yourself, what, you know, you're pretty, you look pretty, you know. And I sort of gesture.
Raise
I'm
my
like,
eyebrow.
I'm trying to find the words to be like, you look like you can handle yourself, but I don't want to like, I'm scared of like stumbling over my words.
Are you okay? Do you want to ride?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Don't you worry. I'm keeping up. I'm spry as a young chicken. Except for this one. And I point up to Tim.
Right. I'll just sort of give a skeptical look and mount up and start riding alongside.
When he says, I'm spry as a young chicken, William, you will hear the young halfling opposite you go, right. I'm from the Feywild. And then just carries on reading. She doesn't seem to believe a word that is coming out of Weary's mouth. Sorry. That's one of the bingo card guys. Somebody, a character of a different day.
I think during that conversation, I was definitely listening in, because I am also very skeptical of where being a god. But I actively do not say anything. And as the halfling next to me makes a side comment, I just kind of I look at her, and then just ignore her.
She sort of looks over at you and gives you a bit of an intense stare for a moment. I've just realised her handout is not a handout, is it? Okay, well, never mind. You'll have to take it from me. I did mention she has curly ginger hair, freckles, and little glasses. Anyway, she sort of looks over at you and she looks at you very, very intently for a moment. Are you also a wizard? Are you studying?
I kind of like look from side to side. No, I'm no
never mind.
wizard.
And she goes back to reading immediately.
Mhm.
She thought for 1 second you might be interesting. She's changed her mind.
As she like very quickly dismisses me, I'm gonna like my brow furrows and her like shadow like rises up behind her, so like that the head of her shadow is like right like next to her head. I'm gonna minor illusion like just whispers in her ear that said, "That was fucking rude."
She nods slightly and then sort of she sort of gives a little smirk, like a little smart-ass smirk, and then doesn't say any more. As the wagon rolls on down the road, it rolls towards a sort of farmland on the right. You see a sort of fairly burly fellow come up to the wagon and speak with Willis. They speak very rapidly, but the crux of it seems to be that Willis gives him some sort of very small pouch in exchange for a big box of eggs. And then you carry on rambling down the road. As you start approaching Elmi, you'll notice two fairly dangerous-looking fellows start to move towards the road as the wagon's approaching. And you just hear one say to the other, I don't think we should look at them. Damn tieflings. Nasty business, that. They'll bite your ears off, you know. And the other one sort of, yes, right you are, sir. We'll leave him to it, I agree. Bite your ears off, you say. And then the two of them sort of back off, sort of retreating towards the bridge over to the other side of the river, which you can just about see out to your left as you're traveling. And then you approach the town of Elmi. Elmi's a fairly small town, and I believe we have some beautiful Elora supplied art for you all to see. Isn't that nice? As the wagon rolls on through Elmi, a small sort of there's a few trees and you can see that lumbering, is that the right word? lumber, I guess, is one of the main trades of this little village, as well as the farms that dot around it. And as you pass through, a young boy begins to sort of run alongside the wagon. Dinari, he approaches you at one moment, and then sort of, he gets as close as he dares, and then he leans forward and sniffs at you, and then runs off. And a second time round, he'll come running in, and he's going to try and lay a finger on your arm.
Look like he's like, this is not a grass museum. This is just like a
No, he's 7 or 8, and he's just trying to put a finger on your arm. Single finger.
Also, I'll try to like innocuously, I think that's the word, like put the arm out just a little bit more to give him like give him a bit of a good, like a better opportunity to try and give a little poke.
Okay. He manages to just about touch your skin, and then he runs off, and you just hear, "Told you it didn't burn!" As he runs off. But you do note that parents have started coming out and sort of putting their arms around their children or pulling them away. And in fact, one particularly well-dressed pair of children that look like they're in their Sunday best. You see their parents seeing them indoors. And indeed, a few doors begin to close. And after a short while, an older man comes out with a stick. "Willis, you can't be bringing any old rabble in here. Take them all out. Don't want the bad luck their kind bring." Willis sort of... "They're not bad luck, you know. They're just mistreated. You should let... I won't hear any of it, Willis. Onwards, we won't take your trade while they're with you." Willis sort of looks back and... "Then you won't have my trade at all." And he sort of... And the donkey starts moving. And he looks back and... "Keep up, Did you say your name?" Looks back to Weary.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming, no worries. That's Weary.
Right. See. And as you pass the old gentleman, he sort of takes a step back and almost waves his stick at you to keep you away, as if he thinks you're going to steal something from him.
Hands will stay up like this.
No, specifically Weary. Doesn't seem...
okay.
Yeah, he's waving his stick away at Weary to keep him away.
If he waves his stick, I'm gonna grab the stick, the end of the stick. I'm
Okay.
gonna say, "Careful now, you might hurt someone."
And he sort of nods and more would be the better for it. Out of my town. Out! All of you. Fly. Bad luck. As you roll up towards another small hamlet further along the road, Willis sort of turns back and quite apologetically says, "At the next town. I really can't afford not to get the business. It's not your fault, who you are or how you are. But, perhaps you might guard Raleigh in the back, and I'll head in alone with me wares, and we'll go round the town. That be all right?"
Fair
As long
dues,
as I get
Captain, fair
paid.
dues.
And this is this sort of, little...
You're getting paid?
little farming. Yeah, he's paid... He either paid you a copper piece, or you paid a copper piece if you're William.
Ooh, I can add a copper piece.
Yeah, you can. All
have
three
a
of you.
copper
Sorry,
piece.
I mean, he hasn't paid you yet, but,
Aw.
yes, he'll pay you at some point, hopefully. He's promised you a copper piece at Norvina. So just a reminder, this in this Mazraya world, gold starts off as a copper shard, is the very lowest one. Thank you for the sub, Pyrus, I've just seen that. Welcome to the Quack Pack. But yes, the smallest form of coin is a copper shard. 10 copper shards built into a copper piece. And these shards can be broken away and put back together. So you imagine like a copper piece is basically 10 shards that are all linked together into one coin, and you can break them down into 10 pieces and back up. I don't ask you to keep track of the copper shards in D&D Beyond because frankly it's just not worth it. But just accept that, he'll break off a shard to pay for a bit of bread or whatever. and gold is scaled right down. So a copper piece is probably the equivalent of a silver piece in any other campaign you might play in, unless it's also a Mazraya campaign. And yeah, as you approach this hamlet, he'll sort of tie up the wagon, and he takes 2 sort of medium-sized bags off the back. He seems to lift them with quite a lot of ease, slings them over one shoulder each, and tells you he'll be back shortly. As he does, Relly sort of looks up from her book at the first time, and a little blue hand manifests in front of you, Weary, and taps you on the shoulder. Relly looks at you and... Do you often get trouble in towns? It's on account of the way you dress, you know. You look like a rapscallion. Weary?
Yeah. Oh, me? Oh, sorry. I was looking for Tim. He flew off somewhere. I gotta make another whistle, and then on the way, what's wrong with the way I dress? I also stink, by the way.
Everything, if I'm absolutely honest.
What do you mean? It's
the boots are okay.
Yeah, but like that's. I dress for purpose, mate.
But do you know how to wash your clothes?
What's the point of washing them?
So that people don't think you'll steal their things as you wander through town. You look like a ragamuffin.
Oh, I've been called worse, but...
Are you a ragamuffin? Do you beg and steal for your food?
No. I was a sailor for many years.
Right.
So, living out in the ship, there's no way to wash your clothes or wash yourself. You need that water to drink. So I just don't see the purpose in it. It's a waste of time, waste of resources, waste of clean water.
A little like this conversation. And she goes back to her book.
I will lean down.
Yep.
I will lean down to Dinari. Remind me not to travel by boat.
Tim flies down and sits with his legs straddles my head and then just plops himself on my head. And you see him in his full form now, and he's just a gnarly looking bird. And he comes down and he goes, "There you are, you old bastard." There you go. Do you think she's right? I start talking to him. He goes, "Do you think she's right? Do you think we should need to start washing our clothes now that we're going inland? I don't really know." But and I sort of move away, and I just start babbling to him, and it's almost like I'm talking.
You're waiting for responses, but nobody else is hearing them. Love that.
Yeah, and then I'm responding to made up responses.
I will shake my head at this obviously delusional man, and then I will dismount my horse and start to take perfect care of it, talking to it, like completely doing the same exact thing, just not feeling as crazy.
Yeah. So you see, it feels as if that when you talk to a treatise, it's like you're just doing it out of love and care. But when I'm doing it, like when Weary's doing it, it's like no, he's completely believes that his bird is talking to him.
Oh,
sorry.
No, you can go. You go.
I'm gonna turn to the halfling. And just very plainly say, "What are you studying?"
Right now I'm trying to copy a couple of spells into my... Well, I'm trying to make sure that when I do copy these spells into my spellbook, they're correct. I'm reading an old spellbook. It belonged to a gentleman called Mephistus. I purchased it at the Mages Guild as part of my studies. I'm in my 5th year, you know.
What spells are you learning?
We recently moved on to 4th level spells. This particular one is kind of cold.
What does the
That
book
might
look
be a
like?
5th level spell.
It's a 5th
Don't-
level spell.
Don't take my word for it. I don't really care. Yeah, it's a beautiful bound dark brown leather tome with sort of gold inlaid writing on the front. And there's actually a slightly moving green script over the back that you can't quite read, but whenever she moves the book about, you just catch it. And indeed,
Yeah.
inside her book is like a absolutely amalgam of magical runes. So confusing they've got 4th level spells as 5th level spells.
Just because she's good at magic doesn't mean she's good at counting. Yeah, there's like a very brief moment where I like am looking at the book like with kind of a hunger in my eyes, but I don't really want to talk to her anymore.
She sort of looks over at you and... You don't choose your magic, do you? It chooses you.
It's one way of saying it. I
Taking
kind of
the-
like itch slightly at my hand.
Taking the discipline and control out of magic results in unfortunate circumstances. And often a lack of control.
Is that so?
It is. I'm sure you control your magic, don't you? It doesn't control you.
No.
Good.
How does it feel, by the way, to study magic but not actually have a good connection with it?
My connection with magic is excellent. Many of my teachers say I'm a prodigy. I don't have to pay to attend the Mages Guild, you know.
What a nice life that must be.
It's not quite that of a pampered noble, but that will suffice.
Oh, if she was on like level 7, she'd be getting
Level 8, actually. Yes, she will nod at you. But anyway, you see Willis coming back. There's 2 bags, and he sort of dumps them on, and looks at you and... Right, Burwood. You're coming into Burwood. They'll look out for you. They'll be all right. They can be a little untrustworthy, but they'll be just fine. You take it from me. It's also where Relly gets off. She's headed to the Sunfall Inn again. And indeed, as you rock up towards Burwood, Relly gets off, and you will see her sort of wave her hands for a while, and a dark purple steed with a sort of silver mane will rise up out of the ground almost spectrally. And it would be majestic, except for the fact that it's sized perfectly for a halfling and looks a little silly. It's like she's gotten a fairly flamboyant dog. But she mounts up and she looks to Willis and she pays him, and you can see it's quite a handsome. It's a silver piece she's paid for the journey, and she sort of smiles up at him and tomorrow. And as she heads off, he sort of turns around. She's all right, the lass. Right, in we go. And with that, we shall head into Burwood. Burwood is a fairly well-to-do town that keeps playing horseback music when you turn up. Shut up. Thank you. Nobody asked you to carry on. And are you guys sat in silence too?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I will.
I actually want to say one thing. I want to go up. I sort of I catch up to the group a bit, and I go next to Dinari. It was Dinari, wasn't it?
Weary?
Oh yeah, that's me.
Mhm.
And like Tim is sitting on my head, and he's like looking at you, and he looks like he's about to try to peck your bloody eyes and brains out. Like he's looking like he's gonna attack you at any minute. And then I look up at him and I take a finger and I smack his beak and I go, "Oi, best behavior."
Smack him any harder, you're gonna take his head off.
Hey, he's fine. He's had worse. And then say, you're like armed to the teeth. You look like you're ready to take on a bloody, I don't know, but you're ready to take it on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I
think Bumpkin is not sitting so perfectly still intentionally. It is my interpretation of this situation.
It was a perfect response, too.
Just looks down at you,
ignoring me,
despicably.
Sorry,
Oh, here we
Welcome
go.
back.
Oh,
there we go. Look, she's moving. Poker, quick.
I don't. My Wi-Fi's never done this until today.
You're all good.
It was
I'll
perfect
figure it
tiefling
out later.
aloofness.
It was an excellent non-response as he asked you. You look like you're armed to the teeth. Whatever you're ready to deal with, you look like you're ready to deal with it. Oh, you heard everything.
No,
Great.
all I heard was, "It sounds like you're ready to take on a bloody," and then it was nothing. So I'm like,
I don't think that sentence
So-
ever got finished, actually.
no. Like, I tried to come up with something, and then I was just like, well, you're ready to take it on, whatever it is.
okay. Yeah, no, I guess. Yeah, in that response, I just say like, I've just been taught to be capable in whatever capacity.
Yeah. I had a teacher once who taught me how to use this thing, and I'd bring up my crossbow a little bit. And it's the fanciest thing on me. It's the fanciest thing I've got. It's like it's actually a pretty nice piece of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, yeah, but I always want to sharpen my skills. Not with this thing, but I reach down, and underneath all my robes, I show that I've actually got a second weapon, and I've got a sword.
Ooh.
And I go, I'd love to spar one time with you. You look like you could teach me a thing or two, maybe.
Not averse to it.
Oh yeah, that'd be bloody sweet, mate. That'd be bloody beautiful. All right. That's good. That's good. See, I told. I talked to Tim. See, I told you she'd bloody say you. So. I tell you.
I think it's at that point
You
I
bloody
would try
doubt
and
me.
like put out my hand to like try and almost shake on like a deal, but like I see you look up to your bird again, I'll just like
I scuttle away.
All right.
I scuttle
Okay.
away.
Indeed, scuttling through the town, the lot of you. Willis, I don't know, Willoughby, whatever his fucking name was in the end. Willis, there he is, this
Willis
prick.
Willoughby.
Wallace. Yes, who was Willoughby? I don't know.
It
he's
was
somebody.
his name earlier in the session.
Oh, was it? Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, you changed it.
Yeah, well, what did I do that for? Why did I make anything more confusing?
Only the OGs remember Willoughby.
Anyway, Willis will get down and lead the donkey and its wagon, and will implore you to do the same with the mount. Elora. Anivari, that's the word I'm looking for. And as you guys wander through the town, you see that the townsfolk are not quite as harshly defensive, but they're watching closely. And it is market day today. And as you wander through, that you will see a couple of like high-walled buildings, a couple of spires. There's a small keep here. And I'll take a history check from anybody that has a positive modifier. So anybody has a +1 or more in history, they give me a history check.
18. Am I the only one?
Well, it would make sense that you'd know this and the others wouldn't anyway, so we'll go with that. Lord and Lady Yaris, like this, are the people who sort of are in charge here, are the ruling Lord and Lady. And with an 18, you know one other thing. They sent their son to court, the daughter of, I can't remember, but the Lady of Durban herself. And the son and daughter got on very well, but there was a scandal about whether he was, whether she was actually seeing him or whether she was sleeping with a servant. But the Lady of Durban got pregnant, and the son was sent back in shame because either she cheated on him with the servant, or he diddled her prior to marriage. Whichever it was, she was shamed, and he was returned to the town. And you know that since he's returned to Burwood, you've heard rumour in the noble court that he's been trying to impress everyone. He's going hunting and riding as if he's a city boy, but from this little backwood town. And he's one of the main reasons why there, as you go through the market, there are cheese merchants with sort of fairly fine cheeses and other wares that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see at this sort of size of town or what the other thing or market.
Are they giving away any free samples?
No. Not at all. And in fact, as you're wandering through the market, at one particular point, Dinari and Anivari, when the two of you near, a jewelry merchant puts a blanket over his wares. You can see that he's refusing to sell to you, basically, even though you didn't seem particularly interested.
I'm sorry you're ashamed of your goods. I'll just keep walking by.
He's sort of hearing this, he sort of tilts his head to one side and then to the other. And then he pulls the blanket back before you and Dinari have completely passed. And he sort of nods to himself as if to say, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't judge you before anything happens. But as you guys get through, sort of passing through the livestock markets, you're coming towards the food markets. And there's wonderful smells. There's pies and breads and rolls and pastries. And Willis has stopped and is purchasing something and sort of having a furious argument with a woman who's desperately trying to sell him some livestock. And he's not interested at all. He's just trying to buy like already butchered meat. And a young boy, Weary, darts sort of under your arm. And grabs a basket of bread loaves. And he doesn't quite get the proper grab on it. And as he does, the basket sort of tips over and the bread loaves spill to the floor in front of you. At the same time, William, a young gentleman sort of comes over towards you. And he looks very well-to-do. This is not the nobleman's son. But perhaps might be another visiting nobleman. And he sort of comes over and, another fine gentleman, absolute pleasure. And he sort of reaches out his hand to shake yours. And before you can even sort of reach up to his hand sort of like almost pushes your glove backwards. And as it does so, he sees that the skin beneath is different in one way or another. Do you want to tell us what that looks like?
Make it sound so ominous.
It is ominous.
It's a little ominous, I guess. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, he probably only sees, like, the very top of it. But, unless he pulls my whole glove off. But William's hands and up to about, like, halfway up his forearms are completely blackened. I do have a picture that I can show you guys.
Like a blackout tattoo.
It's kind of like, have you guys watched WandaVision? It's like Agatha's hands, but if it got like 10 times worse. There we go. That's the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you don't see the whole thing, probably just like the top bit where it's pulled back a little bit.
And in fact, he sees the streaking. And he shouts out, "Fly! Away from me! Foul necromancer! Sorcerer! Dark magics!" And at the same time, you hear the baker, shout at Weary, "Thief! Thief!" And in this commotion, Dinari and Anivari, as you pass the little market stall, there's a man selling blackbirds. And one of the cages bursts open, and blackbirds sort of fly into the sky right between you. They swirl around the two of you briefly, and then fly up into the sky. And then you just hear this man sort of, "The demons have come!" And the guards begin to sort of march through the market towards the four of you. Anivari, Willis rushes up to you, and he puts a bag in your hand and says, "It's more than your pay for the group of you. You should go. Quickly. I'm so sorry."
There's one thing I want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please. This is your moment to roleplay. Go for it.
Okay, so is the kid do I have a chance to react?
You didn't even see the kid. It's more, I've told Jack about the kid. You just saw the basket fall towards you.
Okay, I wanted to sleight of hand the kid some bread rolls.
You would assume in the catastrophe he's going to get a lot of bread out of this.
Okay, cool. No worries.
So yeah, as the bread spills in front of Weary, as the young nobleman sees the black markings up William's arms, as the blackbirds swirl around Anivari and Dinari, who really couldn't have chosen much more frustratingly similar names. As every time I go to say it, I'm like, well, I know they're both tieflings, but this is confusing me. And yeah, he presses this pouch into your hand. It's like a small brown woven pouch, and you know it contains coin, Anivari. And he sort of pushes you almost forcefully away. Go! Find your future. Something.
I will give him a solemn thank you nod, and I will start making my way out of town.
Give me a perception check.
Uh, 5.
5? Okay. Does anybody have a positive modifier to perception? Does anybody have a positive
yes.
modifier at anything?
Oh,
Yeah, I suppose you might.
All three of you? Okay, everybody can give me a perception check then.
Ooh,
Um,
that is a 40.
Ooh. That is a 23, natural 20.
nice,
Damn.
nice. So as you guys look back, you will see that Willis and the jeweler that originally covered his wares are sort of trying to slow down the town guard and a few of the townspeople who've drawn weapons, as if to say that maybe it's not all you guys' fault. But it is very obvious that you should make your exit and make it swiftly.
Is that time, Tim? And I do another whistle, and he flies off from my head. And I start running as I look at the rest.
As you guys get towards the town gate to exit out the other side, Weary, a young boy, comes up rushing towards you. And you can see he's got a basket of bread. And he presses one loaf sort of into you, like almost like he won't, if you don't take it, it's just going to drop on the floor. And he'll go, I'm sorry, mister, I didn't mean to get you in trouble. I didn't mean it. And then with that, he sort of presses it into you and just runs off, leaving you with enough rations for just you for a day. That's good, isn't it?
All right.
And with that, as you set out on the road, I believe we will take a short break. We'll be right back. Hello, and welcome back to the second half of whatever this campaign is called. Freedom Chases. There we go. I should give you a little bit of XP. You didn't get any XP for visiting Elmley, because it's a bit of a shit village. But for visiting Burwood, you will have got 5 experience points.
Yes.
For a discovery bonus, a la Fallout.
Hey, big spender.
Okay. And as you begin along the road, you will note that a man on horseback sort of overtakes you. And you'll recognize him to be a city guard. And a little way ahead of you, a sort of maybe 9.7 feet. I don't think so. What happened there? Did I break the mileage? I had fixed this. Let's put it back again.
My perception is 9, so it could be.
No, I fixed it and then it's not working. Why is that happening? Scale 10 miles. Shall we go back to the... No? Okay, well anyway. It says one side equals 10 foot, but it's not 10 foot. I fixed it. Do the thing. 10... Oh, I don't know. Fuck it. That far away, which is... I cannot even give you a vague estimation because I don't remember. I just know it was in miles. Away. But you can see it. Is a sort of walled guard post. So this is like a big, heavy pair of gates that sit in the middle of the road with a tower either side and a bit of a raised buttress. And seeing this, you're probably aware that heading along the path, you're going to just get more trouble. And I'm not going to give you a choice about this, guys. You are going to have to walk along the edge of the lake to proceed. You could, I suppose, walk all the way up to that guard post and then be refused, and then walk back and go down the lake, but we're not going to do that. Your path will be taking you along the lake path.
I would absolutely vote for the lake, no matter what.
Good, because I will take you off rails in the future, but right now you're on them. Yes, Josh.
As we're walking, I'm gonna, very frustratingly,
Can I hold you there? I will let you all start role-playing in literally a minute and a half. So, as you guys leave the town and see this guy overtaking horseback, you see this path up ahead, and you know that you've got to head down the riverway. A few villagers climb up the tower, the sort of walled exterior of Burwood, and they hurl fruit and stones at you. And anybody that's not Anivari, give me a dex save. Anivari, having mounted up, is probably a little way ahead.
15.
Nice.
That's not good. 8.
Well, it's expected, right? Even though you're the dexterous one. What happened is Anivari rode out of town. Dinari and William, William perhaps a little unexpectedly, quite fit, and able to sort of walk along quite well, even though he was sitting lazily in the cart, get themselves out of town quite quickly, and Weary sort of held back for the boy that was giving them the bread and never was that fast in the first place, and was lagging behind a little bit and was sorting his sack out, and then just splat, whack. 2 tomatoes hit you, one in the back of the head and one sort of in the hip, and they don't do damage, and then this rock hits you in the side of the hip, sort of launches you forward a little bit. You take a bludgeoning damage, a single bludgeoning damage. And your movement speed is lowered by 5 until I tell you otherwise, on a short rest or long rest, basically.
Hearing this kerfluffle, I'm just gonna circle back around and go behind everybody.
Okay. Do you have a shield?
Yeah.
Do you raise it while you're riding, like sort of to fend off blows?
I would in this case, yeah.
Cool.
To just sort of try to...
So yeah, as you guys sort of push off the beaten path and move away, once you're sort of 30 foot, 40 foot away, the missiles stop coming, and William, I'll come straight back to you.
Oh, yeah. The urge to turn around and start casting spells.
Good luck! That'd be a short campaign.
The commoners throw through.
And the city guard?
They're fine. Yeah. But I will very frustratingly not rip the gloves, but yank them off and start shoving them in my bag. And I in the X-Men movies when Mystique transforms, there's a rippling effect over her body. That's kind of how the shift weave looks that he's wearing, when his clothing changes, and it changes into the clothing that you see in his picture is just a very plain, regular tunic and pants and boots, and he takes a blue ribbon out of his satchel and ties his hair back in a ponytail. He's looking very very annoyed and agitated by what just happened.
As you guys get a little way away, it might be a chance to think about plans and feelings.
The first thing I'm gonna do as I'm riding is pick up that pouch of gold and just sort of pour a bit into my hand and look to see how much it is.
Yeah, I mean, pouch of gold is very optimistic, Elora,
Well,
if I'm being
I called
honest.
it coin. Pouch of coin.
Yes, there are 3 silver pieces in here, and then as you open it up, a little sort of piece of the fabric unfolds, and you find a single aquamarine. You're not 100% certain that he left this in here on purpose, but you would know that it's worth a penny or 2.
We'll just sort of... I think I'll put it all back in for now and just keep riding.
Okay. Cool.
So...
when you're riding at a pace that the others can sort of walk alongside.
Yeah. So that went well.
Oh, speak for yourself. I think I got a fracture.
You actually?
Oh, nah, I'm probably just sore. I got pegged with a stone.
I will
Gonna
just
start
sort of
wiping off muck.
lean over, generally kind of like leaning away from the smell a little. But just sort of, I'll put my hand on his shoulder gently, and I will lay on hands for 2 points.
The one. He's only missing the one hit
I
point.
just need the one.
Or 1 point.
Oh. Oh.
What
What'd
does
you just do?
And what did it look like?
That's what I was going to ask.
It's just sort of a little bit of a glow. It just sort of gets absorbed in. Very faint.
As I see the glow and I feel good, you maybe don't expect this reaction, but I back off a bit and go, "What are you doing? What are you? Hey, what do you think you're doing? You should tell
I was sort
somebody
of-
before you do something."
I would sort of put my hands up in a I didn't do it kind of just easy. Feel a little better?
Sort of hop from leg to leg and kick out a little bit and sort of do a little like jig where I move my bum around and stuff like that. And yeah, I do feel pretty good.
Does
That
he no
doesn't mean-
longer
that
have
doesn't
the
mean you
limp now?
Yeah, I'll say that you can put your movement speed back.
Cool.
Nice.
No, I have a limp. I have like a weird sort of.
That wasn't the
shuffle
cure.
that I do to walk.
No.
that-
Okay.
You can never cure that.
But yeah,
You can never cure that.
as you guys head down the hill towards this sort of lake area to walk alongside it, you're going to have to go around the right-hand side of the lake down here, sort of along the tree line. How am I moving the entire map at the same time? I've no idea. Streamer watching something very weird. But yes, you will sort of note that there seems to be a permanent mist over the lake. Anivari, give me a survival check. But it's going to take me less effort to get that name out each time, I promise. It also doesn't help that I often mouse over people's cameras, and it's like, so when I mouse over Josh, it says Josh / William, but I don't have you present. So I can't mouse over, it just doesn't exist. And this is, yeah. So what was your survival check?
14.
14. Yeah, you've been around this lake before.
Mhm.
And you've never seen it without a permanent mist hanging quite low over it. The fog or mist feels very unnatural.
Does it always feel unnatural?
Yeah, always. You have heard rumors of a sorcerer across the lake. It seems that everyone says across the lake, regardless of where they currently are in relation to the lake. But a sorcerer across the lake is usually the person who's ascribed this problem. It's the reasoning.
What time of day is it?
Maybe 11:30 in the morning. Maybe a little bit later, 12:30. Depending on how far down this hill you are. If you're here, it's 11:30. If you're down here, it's closer to 12-ish.
Well, I don't know what you guys want to do. I could eat.
Yeah, some young fella slipped me this loaf of bread. I tucked it underneath my armpit.
You should have that.
Oh, but I got enough. I got a few rations stashed
No,
away in me
it's-
sack.
Very special, I think, for you. I guess.
All right. Well, you help me out. Let me do something. I can do something for you. Let's go down to the lake. I can do some fishing.
I will join you.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll take a survival check from the two of you, or one of you may assist the other to give advantage.
I will assist.
Okay.
How was
I'll roll with
your
it.
survival check? Pretty abysmal.
There's a non-natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
You quickly get 3 fish. Cantankerous Tim will also drop a large one down on the ground, I think, maybe. Is he a fishing bird, or does he just eat
Yeah,
his
yeah,
one?
albatrosses dive into the water. And
Yeah, I know,
grab
but
fish.
would he put it in front of you, or would he just eat his and ignore you?
He would eat his fill, but he doesn't eat a lot.
That's why he's such a ragged... I nearly called him a ragged muffin. Well, yes, he's a ragged muffin of a fish. Of a bird. He's a bird, not a fish. God, James, sort your shit out. I don't know. And as you're fishing, this sort of slowly begins to rain. And you can duck into the shelter of a few trees. And oh no, this is going to have other people on this, isn't it? Maybe. Let's see. Oh, look at these people. I know these people. It's Velzekis.
Velzekis.
Yeah, alright. Stream saw briefly. You did not.
I'd just come in for once.
Oh, camp.
Yeah. There's a brief bit of... That tree is
There
overlapping
we
the edge of the
are.
screen. That's weird. Doesn't normally happen.
There was a sorcerer across the lake.
Not a bad impression, actually.
He's moving closer. and
Yeah, I'm
closer.
trying to get it. I'm trying to get it so it's not overlapping the screen, so that it goes. Because you might have noticed the surrounding screen has now gone dark instead of being white because the tree is actually present. But you'll be very interested to know that with these trees, look, they've got stumps underneath when I detree them.
Ooh.
Yes.
Fancy.
A particular cat wizard used to chop one down every time we came to camp to use fabricate to make a hammock. Didn't they?
And what? And what?
So yes, as you group around as you group around the campfire, Weary, you do have some cooking supplies. Is that correct?
I do. I whip out a pot and some stuff to like a spatula and whatever,
Okay.
and skewers and.
I did not mean to take the pot off the fire. We'll put it back on. You may refresh your page and you will find a thing that does a thing so that you can do a check of the cooking variety for me, please.
Beautiful.
Can I just confirm, Dinari, do you have an alchemy skill? Is it at the bottom? Yeah. And does anybody do thieving of the picking of the locking of the thing? Do you, Elora? Is that a thing? Did I make that up in my head?
It was a thought that then...
You are proficient in Thieves' Tools, are you not?
Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I don't have the skill check, but yes.
I will do that while I am remembering. How was the check of the cooking?
It didn't show up on Roll20, but on D&D Beyond, I got an 18.
Okay. With an 18, you may all take 4 to max HP. As that food is good. Elora, you now have a Thieves' Tools check. This is just fish and bread. Bread and fish and bread.
I don't think anyone eats the bread besides me.
Oh, okay.
No.
I figured there was some other bread from like Trail Rush. Wow, why is Dinari's health gone down to 1? Okay, there we go.
All right.
That's all right. Stop killing yourself.
There we go. I can do it. That's how I fix it.
Yes, that is correct. It's just, oh, look at William, he's double figures, such a big boy. How exciting. I was looking at your puny 6. I think you purposely gave yourself 6 health and 9 armor class. Because you don't know how it reads on my screen, but I always have the health on the left and the armor class on the right. So it just says William Hale 69. But yes, as you camp up for lunch, I am going to take us to a map and ask you to place yourself on it. Isn't that exciting? We never fight in the camp, do we? Maybe we should at some point. But you are camped along this rocky pathway. I will ask you, please, to put your... No, you can't see the map, can you? Can you see it now?
Nope. Yep.
Ask you,
Well,
please,
we
to
can say
pop your
black.
tokens here. There is a purple ping going out. Oh, I can actually do this now. Can I... Yeah, there we go. I can grab your attention and move you to it. Isn't that exciting? Well,
I
close.
can't grab my token. Oh, there we go.
Your token is here. What is missing is a bird and a horse.
Oh, yeah. Good.
There we go.
Okay. Bird and a horse. Yeah, but he does have the most HP of the lot of you.
I've got like this weird vision going on. Is that because it's dark?
It is very, very foggy around here at the edge of the lake.
Okay.
So it should be pretty dark. And you can see just a little bit around you, right?
Yeah.
Those of you with dark vision might have a little bit of a clearer view, but it should still be pretty foggy and pretty dark.
Cool.
I think I
Are
have the
we-
eyes of Legolas. Because I see all.
Yeah, well, you got 120 feet of dark vision, so that kind of makes
I
sense.
do, yeah.
I think dark vision kind of ruins the coolness of the effects. Do you want me to take it away from you?
No. Oh, wait.
You can have this.
I
if
can
you want.
see they're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Are they? Is that better, William? Does it feel cooler like that?
No, it feels like I'm in a 1920s film.
Okay.
That's what I've got. Sepia tone.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. You can all join in the sepia tone for this fight because the mist is thick. That kind of makes sense. And as you're just about finishing your meal and packing up, you start to hear this rustling through the trees. This sort of noises as the plants begin to move. The trees sway ever so slightly. And across the way, as they might say, you will see a couple of plants ambling out towards you.
Of all the times not to play as a fucking ranger or a druid, you've got to be kidding me. We never fight against magical plants, and now the one time we do, I'm neither of those classes.
And as these two shamble towards you, one of them sort of spits out an odd yellow poison. A poison pollen, sorry, is what I was looking for. And the mist sort of arrives on you, William. And it feels a bit sticky. Ugh, a bit horrible. It's not very pleasant. You have no idea what it is.
Okay, then I will. I don't know.
Well, as you're looking that way, two other plants start ambling out the other way. Anivari, can I assume at this point you are not mounted because you were just camping? Is that correct?
That's correct, but I would have moved closer to treaties.
I'm gonna put him that
things
side of you.
happening.
Yeah.
I can't see any enemies, just in case I was supposed to be able to.
You can't see these little plants?
Yeah, same. I can't see anyone. It's probably because of the sepia tone.
Yeah.
You should be able to just
Oh.
about make them out.
Yeah.
Not
Okay,
really, but a
yeah.
little bit. Yes?
I see. Yeah, I see what
Yes.
you mean.
So for reference, guys, this is what they're seeing. It's a little dark for you guys, though, so I will just whack that up a tiny bit.
I'll take a handkerchief out of my pocket and just wipe it off.
And this particular one, sort of moving a little closer, here, a vine sort of lashes out, Dinari, and wraps around your foot.
Oh.
This is a surprise attack. That is a 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
It wraps around your foot, and you just sort of lift up your foot and stamp it back down again. And you just hear this noise as the plants begin to advance completely, and you guys realize that you are in a fight.
All right.
I will ask you, please, to fucking. I was about to say, I will ask you to initiate. Well, initiate, all right? Do it! Roll initiative, please. You'd think of all the phrases that I say regularly enough. Roll initiative would be one of them. Just a reminder, you can swap initiatives, but you cannot swap a natural 20 or a natural 1. I'm just missing Dinar. You still don't have Beyond... D&D Beyond doing the thing. Yeah, you had D&D Beyond doesn't put initiative in my D&D Beyond tracker, and I've never understood why, and it doesn't matter. Weary, William, and Dinari with a 21, 16, and 9. Would either of you like to swap?
Nobody wants a 9.
No one's taking my 21.
Good.
There we go.
That's what I like to hear. And so I will say Anivari. Everybody else was a little surprised by these plants suddenly attacking, but you weren't. You were kind of ready for it.
Did you mean to say Dinari?
Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. I meant to say Anivari, with a 28.
Oh.
Because she got a nat
Nat
20, she
20.
always goes first.
Oh.
It jumps
okay.
right up, and she gets advantage on her first attack if she makes an attack roll. So yeah, Anivari, you were a little more just ready for this than anybody else. A reminder that Atreides will go on his own if you do not mount him during combat. And I think we'll probably just take the dodge action most of the time, unless you just specify otherwise. What are you doing?
How big are these plants?
That particular one stands about 3 foot tall, but it's got very long vines.
Okay, so being on foot might be a little easier. Second question, is the campfire still lit?
Yes, and in fact I can put that on the map. Just give me a second. Can I? Maybe. It's a little more confusing than I thought it was going to be. Oh, I don't want handouts, I want tokens, please. Oh, where are my tokens? Why no tokens? I really thought it was going to be very simple, and then it's not. Oh, it's because it's not a token, it's called a... Oh, okay. I see, it's called that. Let's do that. This isn't the one I wanted to do, but it'll do for now. I'll just pop that down. Oh, a little bit of light as well, there you go.
Lovely. Second question, is there a branch in there that one end might be flaming and the other end might be grabbable?
You want to grab a flaming branch, a faggot of wood with flame on top? I'll say with a nat 20, we'll allow it. Just a sort of, it exists.
Sweet. I will grab that and brandish my shield with the other, and I will go over to this guy.
You okay?
And whack him.
Okay. You can roll as if attacking with your sword? Question mark?
Okay.
But give me a d6 of fire damage if you hit.
Cool.
Fire!
That is a 16 to hit.
Oh, a 16 hits indeed.
So that is 4, plus 3 for my strength.
Yes. But the... I'll say it's... No, I'll just give it a straight d6 of fire damage.
Okay.
But it is going to be doubled. Because it's sort of mostly, it's the flame, because the stick sort of breaks away as you strike.
Fair.
And if I can wound this creature severely, I will. This creature is severely wounded. And you see it sort of back up a little bit. It doesn't like it. It hates it. It's very vulnerable to the flame.
I don't know why I have 2-weapon fighting. Okay, yeah, that's me.
Everybody has 2-weapon fighting,
Okay,
I think.
maybe.
Most people, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did in my bonus actions, and I didn't know why.
That's
me.
Dinari, what doest thou?
Doest me. Debating which one to run up to.
Oh.
I'll go for the one that's still slightly north of the one that Anivari is getting, so that would be like the little yellow one at the top, I think.
Okay. Go ahead.
I will try and, yeah. So as I'm running up, I'll try and, you'll see like with the left hand, she goes around and tries to grab the scimitar, and then with the right hand, she reaches up behind and is grabbing a hand axe that she had on her back.
Mhm.
So first hit with the scimitar is a 15.
Yeah, 15 will hit.
Alright.
Now, as you sort of... This is slashing damage, right?
Yes, it is slashing.
Yeah, okay. As you sort of slice across, you see the sort of welts appear in the greenery of the plant. It doesn't seem as bothered by that attack as it might by other things. No, that's not true at all. It seems more bothered by that than it might by other things, is what I meant. As you easily cut through its branches, as opposed to hitting it with a hammer, which might have done a lot less.
Let me see how much
Skin
damage
gives
it
way
does.
easily.
I also completely missed a description that was not true. Unfortunately. I cut out of it.
Good. I just straight up lied to you. It cut really easily into the plant, and therefore does regular damage.
Okay. Whoops, sorry, I picked up the wrong dice. Wow, it's 1 for 3 points of slashing damage.
Nice, nice. And you're attacking with the hand axe as a bonus?
Yes, I will.
Reminder that you don't get the strength modifier on that. Or dex, whichever
Yeah,
you're
so
attacking
that
with.
is a 12.
Okay, yeah, 12 will hit. These plants are not wearing armor.
And that's just, like you're saying, it's straight up, no pluses.
Yeah, it'll just be the
It's-
D6 or the D4, whatever.
Okay. That's another 1.
Great! Well, you hit twice, but didn't do much with them. Any movement? Staying there?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Hale.
I need the wounded plant to make a strength saving throw.
Yeah, okay. We'll attempt to do so. It's not very strong. That is an 8. 7, sorry.
Cool. So I'm gonna raise my blackened hand over Anivari, and her shadow begins like moving from like being behind her to in front, and then stands up and picks up this plant monster thing and just slams it to the ground
Nice.
as I cast telekinetic slam,
Give me the
and then her
damage.
shadow goes back to being behind her.
Nice.
That is force damage.
It would be prone, but it is instead dead.
Yes.
I think it is
and
bludgeoning,
then-
isn't it?
Nope, force.
Okay.
And then I'll go over here where no enemies are coming.
So you think.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, Dinari. This plant in front of you will try and rake you with its little clawy bits. That's a 5 to hit.
Nope.
Weary.
Alright. First of all, I think I'm going to make a whistle, send Tim over here. Assuming I can control Tim.
Yeah, he's
Like,
as exactly
already.
like a familiar.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, familiars can't attack.
No, they can't. That is correct.
So I can't get him to attack yet.
No, he can take the help action. Give you advantage to attack. But
okay.
only things that familiars can do right now. We
Okay,
will
cool.
give him some pecking ability in time, but right now...
No worries, no worries. Alright, well then, I'm gonna make him useful. Assuming they won't do 7 out of 7.
No, we would
tomorrow.
assume not.
So, I'm gonna get him to fly over and help Dinari. By just being, like, a nuisance above the
Okay,
other plants.
so helping Dinari on her next ability check as opposed to giving advantage on the next attack against this. Is that what you mean?
No, help distract the plant so she gets an advantage.
Yeah,
on the
so
next
the help
attack.
action you're taking is technically against the enemy, so the next attack against it will be an advantage. I think that's the way
Okay,
that
yeah.
works. I don't think you
Okay,
can
that's
help an
that's the
ally
way
to
it's
get
worded,
advantage.
that's-
Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
backwards. Cool.
Okay.
It's all up in that plant's face. That's what matters.
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
And then I'm gonna look to this plant down here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to shoot it with my crossbow.
Shadow magic is very cool, Pyrus. I agree. You sort of line up a bead and then.
14 to hit.
What damage type does a heavy crossbow do?
Piercing.
Piercing? Yep. Okay, so this again thunders straight through the bark of this plant and right shudders on through it. It'll do full damage.
Beautiful. It's 13 piercing.
Whoa! As that bolt hits, this creature just sort of looks down, and you see it look almost sad as it reaches over and its vines come up to try and like cover the hole in its chest. And then it falls flat on the floor in front of you. It is dead.
Oh god. I'm gonna do a little bit of movement
Mm-hmm.
and then post up there. Fucking plus try to kill us. I don't give a fuck.
Good. So you shouldn't. Plan is going to try and kill Anivari. There's this again. These roots sort of come out along the ground and then try and grab you by the feet. That's a 19 to hit, Anivari.
Oof, that does hit.
Okay, that is 1 slashing damage as the thorns that are going to you, but you will be knocked prone.
Very rude.
and yanked 10 foot forwards. It sort of pulls you in.
Well, that's helpful.
Yes, very nice of it, isn't it? It's your turn now. But it is a check to stand up. It is not. You can do it as a free action, but it is a check, an athletics check, if you want to try and stand up.
Does my initiative stay at 28 the whole time?
Yeah, you just stay at the top. I always keep it the same on natural 20.
Then I will attempt to stand up.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Ooh, I'm good at those. That is
How good are you?
16.
Yes. So even though you sort of were yanked along, you just sort of put your arms in the ground, push yourself back up. You find yourself standing over this plant that's giving you an express way to its death. What are you doing?
Is my stick still bashable, or did it sort of just
Yes.
apart?
Again, it'll just do the d6 of flame as more of it'll come away, but the fire is the important bit, right?
That's fine. Now I will attack with the stick. That is
Did we just lose
a
Bumpkin?
14.
A little bit, but I'm back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 14 hits.
14, and that is 5 fire damage.
Yeah, which is going to kill that creature as it's double the damage. You see it go up in flames, and again, it sort of drops to the ground and tries to roll around to put itself out, and then slowly stops moving. Ceases to exist. Dinari, what are you doing? Sorry, anything else, Anivari? Are you done?
Is flanking on any side?
Yeah, so as long as you are within 5 feet of the creature, within melee range of the creature not incapacitated, everybody else will get a +2 to hit.
I will move up over to that one.
How kind of you. In that case, Dinari, it is your turn, and if you hit that creature, you have a +2 to hit. Isn't that nice?
Plus
I still
advantage.
get advantage on
And
this as well?
advantage.
Yeah.
By advantage. Oh, the bird. Yes.
Yeah, let's
That is
try
the
round
word.
2 of the scimitar hit.
That little beautiful
Natural 20.
bastard.
That's the
Oh.
one. So just regular damage rolled, and then add the max on the die. So if you're rolling a d6, it'll be +6 on the damage.
That's 2 plus 4 is 6 is 10.
Please describe his grisly demise.
I think the first hit with the scimitar was a little bit of like a warm up and like kind of understanding how this creature moves. Finally, it is kind of one final slash of bringing the scimitar back up through it and trying to kind of get it in the middle and slice it in half.
As you do, its two halves fall apart, and you see just as they're falling, both parts of the vines reach out, trying to grab each other. And as it falls dead, its legs and arms are sort of wrapped together, trying to almost hold themselves to piece together. As it will fall dead. I didn't mean to get rid of the campfire, sorry. As you look around, you are victorious. You may all take 10 experience points, I think. Just double check that. Wow, I spelled awakened. AWAKEND. Awakend. Yeah, 10 XP each. And you do see the trees and leaves continue to rustle. I will take a perception check from anybody with a positive modifier, which I think we found out was the whole team, right?
Nope.
It was the whole team, apart from apart from Anivari, which is
I got a 21.
Oh.
I got another
Very
23, natural 20.
Nice.
Double natural 20 perception check.
A 4.
A 4.
Just
Okay.
to balance it out.
Bumpkin and it was a Bumpkin. Wow. William and Weary, as you look to the west towards the lake itself, which I think might actually be it is the west. You will note that the plants have all come from that direction. Dinari is still staring at the mess that she's just made of the plant on the ground, feeling proud of herself and forgetting to look anywhere at all, to be honest. Yeah.
Just slapping her on her shoulder going, that's nice. Okay, I really liked how you did that.
Tim is flapping around a little happily, feeling like he contributed, which he did.
He did.
And now 20 for Dinari. But you get the impression if you stay in the same place, you may be assaulted again. Indeed,
God,
you do see the actual tree begin to sort of wave a little bit.
I don't think we're safe here, guys.
God, even the forest doesn't want us here.
We came, we had our fill of fish. I think it's time to move on.
I'll second
And-
that. That's-
I think we should get out of here. But I gotta say, William was pretty cool.
What?
I assume that was you. My own shadow bodied a creature. I'm
What?
pretty sure I didn't do
must
that.
I must have missed that. What happened?
You see that like my eyes are kind of like searching yours to see how genuine you're being. Like it's very clear to see that this is not a response he's had before for his magic. But after a moment of kind of analyzing you, he just kind of like he softens his look, but he just says, "Thanks."
Is that the first thing you said? No, it's not the first thing you said in character, is it?
No.
You guys head further towards the lake, or just along the lake, or what's the thinking? Deeper into the forest?
It looks like they're coming from the lake area. If we wanted to move on, we should stay clear.
You do, however, know, I will just remind you, that should you keep going to the lake, you will break out of the forest completely into the actual beach, at which point they'll be the other side of you, and perhaps push you into the water. But, yeah, just to make that clear. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt
Sort of
that.
an
Just
in between.
yeah, they're between you and the lake, you would think.
Yeah, but we should go sort of in between the lake and the road.
Agreed. As you
Sure.
guys begin to head to the north, between the lake and the trees, you will see 3 or 4 trees begin to shuffle forwards with huge, clumping steps. They're moving way too slowly to catch you, but your way is blocked and you cannot get back to the road. And they begin to herd you towards the lake. Very slowly.
Oh no,
Bloody hell, we can't take a trick.
We've got video game invisible walls.
Well, you can
I
fight them
like
if you
this.
want.
Not used to the trees behaving.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Tim, go up and find us a path. We need to head to the lake, mate. Tim,
And with Tim's guidance, you can get down to the lake. A heavy mist sits over it, all the way through, rolling towards you. It feels slightly cold, the touch. You almost have... you can no longer feel the rain falling because the air itself is wet around you. It's uncomfortable. It's dank. But as you get along the beach and shuffle along a little way, you can head that way for about an hour. But each time you look back towards the forest, you're right. You see the way blocked by moving trees. Slowly, as you continue your way up
Can
to the north.
I-
Oh, go on.
Just for fun. Divine Sense, Celestial Fiend, Undead.
Celestial
Within
Fiend
60
Undead. Is that the full list?
That's the full list.
Okay, so I treat Divine Sense a little differently. It's either 60 feet through barriers or within your sightline. So it doesn't stop at 60 feet when you're looking to the right, because otherwise you'd have to walk all the way over there just to use it. And it would make it really shit. So as you put your Divine Sense on, you know there are no Celestial Fiends or Undead in that direction, but you do sense a heavy presence. There are lots of creatures there, and none of them mean well.
Anybody got any ideas? Don't like being herded.
do we have much of a choice?
Already in the trap. Best thing we can do is keep our eyes sharp.
As you head to the north a little further, finally there's a break in the main trees. You see a path through. A broken bit of stone path leading back up to the road. If there's anywhere, any break in the trees, this is it. You wish to take that path?
Does it look like a pretty, I guess, like convenient kind of break in the trail, given that we're being herded by other trees?
As you look, it looks like they can't cross the stone path. So far, they've been walking sort of along the route line, right? Everything's been brush. The stone-made path seems to be what's blocking them from herding you or fighting you in that area.
Does it seem like there's another way to go?
You can keep on along the shoreline, but the amount of beach is getting narrower and narrower, and you'll be heading away from Navina at this point. You'll be sort of curving round to the west.
Oh, like going, yeah.
Don't like it, but I don't think we have another option.
Do we see what, like...
If you want to place your tokens up here, very top right.
I like that the horse comes first.
The horse arrives and Anivari on it. Spread out a little bit, guys. We can't all ride the same horse, for goodness sake. But as you sort of, it is exactly as you see it on the map, right? It's this sort of ominous rolling fog, but there's just this stone path breaking between the trees.
Is there any sign of a person that could be behind doing this?
Ooh, give me a nature check. How exciting. I like that.
I'd love to.
How's your int?
It's neutral, but that's a 5.
Okay. Even with a 5, you get the impression that, like, if it was a person, they would be very powerful. It is more likely some sort of ominous natural phenomenon going on.
Okay.
You know, no one has gone along to every plant in the woods and awakened every single one. That's like 155th level spell slots. Like, who's got that to spend?
In the day.
You know, right? Exactly. So, and a lot of material components, I believe.
Sure.
So yeah, it's more an ominous presence. You do note that the fog sticks thickly to the water. That was a hell of a sentence to try and say.
Through it.
This reminds me of an old shanty that we used to say sometimes. We used to sing. The chorus was, "Be wary, keep watch tonight. Make sure your weapon's at hand. Here on the waters where shines no light, death can strike you where you stand."
Boats seem less and less fun the more I hear about them.
I'm not gonna lie, Jack, I thought you were about to do the night watch vow.
No.
The first line!
Oh, yeah.
As you look around, are you gonna try and break across the stone ground? You're moving, so I'm gonna take that as a yes. Roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Again.
Oh boy.
Yikes.
Let's see.
I'll gladly swap with someone.
Yeah, swap with me. I'll go last.
It's not a natural one, is it?
It's not a natural one, no.
Okay, I'm
It's a 3,
missing
-2.
Dinari, which is a 15, yeah? Where you want to go last?
Yeah, I'll take the one.
Okay. Lagging behind as
12.
always, looking up at the bird. Okay.
Me and the birds, mate. Me and the birds.
Wow. This one will take the dash action. 2, Dinari, you're up.
I think I'll try and take a couple paces.
Oh,
in
the
front
music's
of...
not working. Sorry, a couple of places in front.
Of Atreides, I think is the word, right?
Atreides?
Atreides, yep.
Right?
Mhm.
Atreides, so yeah. Let's do, that would be, I guess, 5, 10, 15, 20,
Don't go too far, man.
25, just to see how many people I can catch in my field of view. Ooh, there's a lot of them boogers. Let's see, I'll take, I think the furthest one I'll ping, hopefully. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I should be within range to pull out my longbow and try and take a crack at it.
Okay.
That is an 8.
I don't think so. No, an 8 will not hit, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. Anything else from you?
Yeah, just what's I forgot the rules again about switching between weapons. I know I can't use my a bonus action to make another hit with the hand axe.
You can draw and sheath weapons pretty much as you like. The only exception is you can't attack with two different two-handed weapons in one turn.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't fire a bow and then fire a crossbow, for example.
Yeah. I assume that, again, like I was so right that I can't use my bonus action to try and take a hit with the hand axe. 'Cause I think
No.
it's like if you make a...
No. You have to attack with a light weapon to do that.
Yeah. Okay, then yeah. Yeah, then I guess I'll take out the scimitar and hand axe again, and just kind of stand ready.
Okay.
He's kind of at the front of the group. Actually, no, I'll stay where I am. Stay where I am.
Okay.
You could dodge or hold an attack.
No, not having already
So I
attacked with a
use-
longbow,
I
you
use my
can't.
action to...
Oh, did you? Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Just fire.
I mean-
We don't return to that 8 to hit, Elora. Come on now.
Yeah, Jesus. Come on, man.
Sorry, I just had to set something up that I'd forgot to put on Roll20. Back to you guys dying. Love your positioning, Dinari. We're going to go here and here. And the first one is going to sort of roots go along the ground and come up at you and try and seize you. That is a 11 to hit. And I'm assuming that's going to miss. And the second one's a 19 to hit, which will hit.
That one hits, yep.
You'll take 1 slashing damage, but you will also be knocked prone and pulled towards him.
Youch.
Could be the death of you. It's unlikely. Where is my... why are all the elevation markers coming up first? That is so annoying. Cool. Mr. Hale. William, you are up. I think Dinari would have called back that she can see at least 6 of them.
Oh, I can see 6. Oops.
Oh, can you? To be fair, that one's head is very small.
I didn't even know people's icons were covering the bottom. I just saw the first 4.
Yes, she can see at least 6.
I'm not necessarily casting this. I just want to see how many. I want to see if I can get all 3 in this, but I can't. So that's fine.
You could get 3 people in. It would just one of them will be Dinari.
Pretty prone.
Oh, yeah, that's what you mean. Okay, yeah. Cool.
6 1.
Okay, let's see. Wait. Okay, cool. I need this guy to make a strength save.
Cool. That is a 10.
Nice. So I'm gonna look over to Tim. And his shadow is going to disappear. And then you just see it like making its way as if he's flying above. That's what the shadow looks like, is where it's going.
That's cool.
And it just like flies all over and then just swoops down into this plant, dealing 5 force damage.
Nice.
and
Creature's
knocking
wounded.
it prone.
And prone.
And then the shadow disappears and and reappears under Tim.
Nice. Anivari.
Okay. I think I'm gonna ride here, and I actually think I'm going to go all the way up to here
Okay.
and attack the one that's got Dinari.
Yeah, go ahead.
With advantage because it's smaller than my mount.
Yes, it is. It's a medium creature.
17 to hit.
Oh, 17 hits. This is a sword, right?
Yep.
We haven't found
so
your
8.
stick yet.
8 slashing.
Creature severely wounded.
Okay, that'll be me.
Okay. What's that? The herd will move forwards and surround you. And the first two are going to try and pull at a treaties.
I can force anything to target me instead.
And you'd prefer that?
Yep.
Good. Well, a 10 and a 3 will miss you. And an 18 and a 14. Oh, sorry. No, that's an 18 and a... I should be running with advantage. An 18 and a dirty 20 will both hit Dinari, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, you will take 3 and 0 slashing damage from them. And Weary, you are up.
Alright. Just gonna step forward a little bit. I have Tim with me. And I'm just gonna shoot this one.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Roll to hit. You'll have disadvantage on that, it's prone. Do you want to shoot something else?
Oh, wait. Alright. Yep, cool. I'm gonna shoot the one behind it.
Cool, go ahead.
No, I'm not. Natural 1.
Oof.
No, unfortunate. You go to shoot the one behind it, and you note it just sort of like move, almost like just sort of rolls himself in behind a tree. It just thunks in, and the plant sort of comes back out from behind the tree, looking enraged that you would strike at the tree thus. Yeah. And that plant will move forwards. This one will use half its movement speed to get up and also move forwards. And Weary, one is going to tug at you and one is going to tug at William. So Weary, that is a 4 to hit, and William, that is a 5 to hit.
Nope.
Okay,
Didn't think
Dinari.
I'd say that today.
Dinari, at the start of your turn, give me an athletics check. See whether you can stand up, as these creatures are pulling at you from all angles now.
17.
Oh, the DC goes up by 3 for each one you're entangled by, and you still have managed to roll high enough to stand up. Isn't that nice? Even though you had 3 of them, increasing the difficulty. But it did start at 5, to be fair, so...
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. We get it.
But no, well done. You sort of stand up, and you may... Well, you're surrounded. You can hit anything you like.
Yeah, no, I'll take my first swipe at the one that was heavily wounded by Anivari.
Mm-hmm.
I think, is this a +2 as well to this?
Yes, I will say so. I think Atreides is in range.
That is a 10.
10 will hit.
Oh, thank fuck. Wow, it's another 1!
That's enough. You just sort of very casually just chop it down. It wasn't a very hard strike, but it was enough. What's next?
Let's see, I know I can use the bonus action to strike with a hand axe. Can I throw it
Yeah,
with a bonus?
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, then
I don't care what the rules say. I don't know if they say that, but I say yes. But do bear in mind that anything you throw will be at disadvantage because you have a creature within 5 feet of you. Well, it was until I moved it. So ranged attacks are made with disadvantage if a creature that is not capacitated, an enemy is not capacitated, is within 5 feet of you.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't just hit it.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, good to know then for later. I'll take another swipe with the hand axe
Good.
to the one.
Attacks with axes against these plants are at advantage.
Ooh. Let me pull up my other d20.
You got a thing for chopping, and these plants are there for the chopping.
This axe was made for chopping, and that's just what I'll do. Let's see. That's 18, 22, 24.
Oh, a 24 hits.
If I roll another 1 again, I'm gonna.
It doesn't actually matter.
Oh, so close. but it's a 5, so that's 5 and 7
Okay.
slashing.
As you strike into this creature, you hear a voice, sort of quite calmly. Please. Stay your weapons. I will see you safe. And wandering out of the trees, you see a Loxodon, wearing a sort of cape made of grass. There was a subclass for Druid that was on the internet somewhere that used this as its art piece, and I thought the art was beautiful. But the subclass was really shit, so I thought I have to use it at some point. Why can't you see it? It's on Roll20.
I just see
No,
no,
I can't see
and
it.
then nothing.
Oh, refresh.
Yes.
Or close it and reopen it from the handouts NPC section. That's just a laggy thing. But it is most definitely
I
there.
can see the image.
Yeah, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Right,
but
now
if-
Roll20 is not loading.
I threw
Oh, there we go.
And you could also click on it to enlarge it. But anyway, you see him come out and he sort of reaches out to the plants and he begins to sing this soothing, very low-pitched, almost long humming song. And slowly the plants will sort of unfurl and retreat back from you. Come, I will take you along the path. Light torches, if you will. And he hands you little branches. They will keep the trees at bay. Dark, strange magics along the shores here. The water, I think. Too much magic in the water. Come, I will lead you safe. Come. And then he lets out this sort of weird whistle, and Tim is going to fly over to Nor, the druid, and he gives him something small to eat. He gives Tim
Wait,
something
where do you
small
think
to eat.
you're going, you old bastard?
A friend of yours. A good bird, if a little ragged. And he sort of pats him gently and the bird flies back to you.
You know what's doing this?
Strange magics in the water come. I can't hold the plants at bay all that long. The trees are persistent and their whispers are loud. If we might. And he's going to lead you away, if that is okay. And then once you get a certain distance away, he'll sort of turn you back to stare down at the lake. I will... Come on, music. You were meant to change when I did that, and you just didn't. Well, whatever. And as he gestures back towards it, he says, "The magic of the lake has riled differently. You should speak with Seraphina. She would know, if you're inclined to discover. They call her the Witch of the Woods to the north, but she is no danger to those seeking to aid nature or defend the innocent. I would rather not stray further from the woods. My name is Nor. You can find my home by calling me in the woods. All out there. I will be
Why
there.
are we supposed to protect nature if it's not trying to protect us? It came out and tried to kill us.
Strange magics affect the nature differently. If you cannot hear the whispers, you cannot whisper back. Stay clear, or find the source. Would be my advice.
Well, we don't really have a choice in that matter.
You
I mean,
do.
we weren't here because we wanted to be.
You are. But the path to the road is clear now. Travel forth you may. Are you wounded? I
Got a couple scrapes.
offer you these to keep you well upon the road. And he'll reach out and just put a handful of berries in your hand. There are 10 good berries. You can pop them for 1 hit point each. Hit point per berry. Which I think should be enough to heal the entire party to full health. Maybe not, actually. I think Dinari took a bit of a beating at the end.
Well, only technically 4 points total.
That's good. Yes, you can take 4 good berries. They're very tasty. They pop with bright and sharp blueberry flavour.
Hmm.
And he looks at you, wary, and some of you are more acquainted for the woods than others. And he sort of nods towards William. But you handled yourself well. You were right to defend yourself. It does pain me to see the woods suffer. The fault of this magic. Go forth. The road will shelter you. Perhaps a home you will find in Norvina. Or perhaps not, I fear.
Where do we find this Seraphina?
The Witch of the Woods is widely known. Her home lies on the northern shores. Anyone in Norvina can point you the way, though few will. You can also take 20 experience points in combat, by the way. Technically that's combined. That's 10 for the combat and 10 for finding out about Seraphina and Nor.
Ooh.
I guess I'll look back at Nor. Yeah, well, I guess we should thank you.
No. Should go on safely.
But I
This
don't
is
need
not
no
necessary.
handouts.
Indeed? I do not. I did what I did to protect the woods from your mighty blows.
Yeah, well, maybe you need to start protecting the woods from itself.
I try.
Or, yeah.
There's a lot for one druid. My circle is broken. Only I remain. Once a tribe of 12. Long forgotten now. Go forth, please. I am tiring. You can see, like, he seems to be concentrating quite hard on keeping the trees back.
Do you have a huge urge to say that he grows weary?
No, I didn't even think about it. You're on your way. And with that, he will nod you towards the road and he will walk away.
This has been a very strange day.
William, what do you think of that guy? You're a magic guy. And he's a magic guy.
Very eloquently put. I think that... I don't know, did I get any magical reading from him?
To all of you, it felt a little bit like you were wrapped in a sort of warm embrace of magic. There was definitely a sort of strong magic emanating from him, but it felt foreign to all of you.
Yeah.
And William, I suppose with your magical knowledge, you would know that it almost, it would only not feel foreign to a plant. It was alien to all humans, that magic. But his good berries are tasty.
No, I don't take one.
It's not magic I'm familiar with. But what he says seemed to make sense.
Yeah, so it's even weirder than you. Oh, fuck, that was pretty mean of me. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, mate. I didn't mean that. Shit. Look. What you do is amazing. And it's really cool. But, oh, fuck, I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry, mate. I'll walk off.
Perhaps we should be on our way. And I will walk off too. I wanted to walk off first.
Sorry to take that away from you.
I have a funny feeling I've got 4 Walker offers in this campaign. As you all stridently is what I was going to go for. Stride purposefully towards the road separately in 4 slightly different directions and fan outwards. One bird swirling round ahead of you. you start to approach the outskirts of the farms that surround Norvina. And as you approach the first farm, you see a young boy, a young adult, older boy, 14, 15-year-old, with a stick. He's sitting on top of a cattle shed of sorts, with a sort of curved wooden stick that he is blowing into, that's making a sort of noise. And he looks up at you, and he raises a hand in greeting, quite happily, quite cheerfully, as you pass.
We discern like what the nature of that kind of was. Like, was that like just like a regular like greeting kind of thing?
Yeah, he just seemed to be waving very cheerfully at passing travellers.
Is he
Okay, then.
near enough to the road, or is he like far off? In the
No,
middle of
there
the
is no road. So the road is right up here. Oh look, it's in miles now, and you guys are sort of coming up from sort of this way through the farms. So the road is a good 13 miles away from you. As Weary sort of lets a little hand.
Are you waving at me?
He sort of carries it with his staff, and then he just gives you a little thumbs up. And then from across the road, sort of a little way away at another farm boy shouts off the back. You can see he had his back to you when he turns back and, "He don't talk none!"
What?
That's Muppers, that is! He doesn't talk none! But he is waving at you, yeah! I'll wave at you too! Welcome! You headed up to city?
Yes.
So somebody else talk. This is a bit weird for me. I don't know.
I'm gonna start putting my gloves on.
Oh.
Yes, we're bound for Norvina.
And that's it! You types normally passing through, ain't you? Headed up to Astrium. Gotta keep the tieflings in. You stopping at Norvina?
Plan to.
That's good! We can use more different types. Towns get a bit boring.
I like you.
I like me too. Gives you a little wave. Anyway, I've got pigs to be mucking. You come from Lake?
We went by.
Ah, yeah, don't go boating on Lake. No one comes
Yeah, I don't
back.
recommend it.
Ah.
Probably
He's
because of this giant whirlpool.
it's the best I could do for mists, actually.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's not a giant whirlpool. It's swirling mist. You dick. But anyway, yeah, you do hear him telling a younger girl that some people just came up from forests. They don't even look hurt. Weird. But as you continue on winding through the farms, an older lady, sort of in her 40s, a human, she's got very weathered skin, and sort of her hair's a bit strawish and a bit dry and a bit all over the place, and she looks like she's been working hard today. Sort of excuse me, you lot, you travelled up from the woods?
That's right.
See any moving plants?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. But you survived. They took old Timmy, they did. And
Sorry to
Fina
hear that.
before that.
Tim's just here. Oh wait, they're probably talking about another mate, another Tim. Your fucking name's Tim though. That's pretty funny. Anyway,
She
Sorry
nods
for your loss.
very slowly and... Oh, Timmy was no loss. Not to anyone. You going up to 10?
That's the plan.
Pays you a copper if you take this up to shop.
What, is she holding something out? Or...
No, she sort of then turns to walk away a little bit, and then she comes back a moment later, and she's holding a small sort of burn-up sack, Take out butchers! Give you copper!
In advance?
I ain't expecting you to walk back for it!
Sure thing.
And she reaches over. Just a bag of bones, no point in stealing it! You'll deliver it or you won't. Your reputation's everything in Norvina.
Fair enough.
And she hands you a copper piece and a bag of bones. It's quite heavy. She gives you a wave.
The bag.
Sorry?
Who currently has the bag?
Anivari, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
She agreed.
Okay, I'm gonna very much like peek over her shoulder and try to get a good look at all the bones that are in that bag.
Yeah.
I'm on horse, but I'll just like lower it down to you.
Yeah, as you look in, it looks like you give me a medicine or nature check, your choice.
5.
Cool, they're bones. You don't think they're human?
Mm-hmm.
What you saying there? I sort of sneak up from behind.
It's very obvious to you pretty quickly, Weary,
I feel like I can smell you.
that these are that these are animal bones, probably a cow or a pig that's been slaughtered. The meat's already been sold, but she sends the bones up to the butchers to use the marrow.
Oh, they're just stewing bones.
What?
They're just stewing bones.
Gotcha.
did
I
I
really
not-
thought you said human bones, and I just
No, stewing. Like
Got-
you make a stew, like you make a bloody, and then you cook them for ages, and then you get all the stuff out of the bones, and then you toss the bones, and then you make a broth.
Why would you
And then
take
you
the
put the
bones
broth.
to a butcher? Does the butcher usually make the broth?
You'd specifically know it's for the bone marrow. He probably sells it on the cheap. He gives her a few copper and then he makes a silver, maybe, that sort of thing. He wouldn't do anything with them. He'd just sell them to customers. Maybe also for the dogs, that sort of thing. As you guys head up... Oh, sorry.
I was like, oh, right, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you. Yeah, I don't know how you bloody land folk do your shit. You know what I mean? It could be different to what I learned on the ships, but I'm just saying. I could be wrong. It could be a magic thing. Ooh.
William
You think the
doubts it.
butcher is using bones for magic?
You can tell I'm trying to make conversation and be funny and try to impress you and stuff like that.
William just is giving you a dirty look.
As you guys follow a small stream that trickles up, you'll see a lot of sort of wooden water wheels in the stream, but none of them seem to be doing anything. I mean, they're going round, but they're not attached to anything else. They're not powering a mill or anything like that. There's just a lot of them in the water at various intervals, and you don't really know why. And as you sort of crest the hill, you can see Norvina as a whole, and it's much smaller than Durban. It's a large town as opposed to a sprawling city. But it looks like a nice place, a sweet place. It's not a walled village or town, which is quite unusual in Mazrah. But not quite as unusual in the archipelago, to be fair. Just because there are so many little places. And you do see a couple of city guards who look on over at you, but they don't say anything. And as you head into Norvina, you may take 10 experience of discovery points. And we will come to the timeless tradition of MVPs. No recap today, so we will start simply with the top left and go clockwise. So, Josh, I will ask you for your MVP.
So we had multiple first nat 20s of the campaign throughout this session, which was very exciting. The combats were a lot of fun. Sucks that we got saved by an elephant. I wanted to keep fighting those.
Oh, you would have been
times, but
fine. It just would have been a lot of rounds of not much.
Still.
combat fiend. Wait till I'm finding something worthwhile. Half the time, my damage was 0.
Sure. No, I get it. And I really liked everyone's characters. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of them. I'm very worried that any given episode, Tim is just gonna drop dead. I'm very worried for his health.
Yes. The main side story of this campaign is: will Tim survive long enough for Jack to get a subclass?
But yeah, I think
so
overall,
5 XP away from level 3, Tim plummets out the sky dead, and Jack has to go hunter instead.
But yeah, I think for a session 1 and for a session 1 for a table that like I played with everyone, but we've not played together as individuals. I think we did really well together. So
I agree.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to future sessions.
Yeah, in fact, apart from one brief episode, I think you are the only person to have played with another player at the table. But yes, Bumpkin, your MVP.
Ooh. God, it sucks because there's so many great like little character moments that we're having. Like it's just the tables.
You can take a few.
I can't. No, but the thing is, I can't ever remember what was said. I just remember that
you need one of these notepad docs at the side that you just fill in as you go.
Yeah, I know. I definitely should. I guess the one thing I'll mention is just even though we've had only one episode so far, the dice have been telling quite a fun story for my character, at least so far. Where the first start, it's there's.
Oh no.
And that was that. The dice and the internet. Dividing Bumpkin. And,
that's another one.
oh, that was a fast forward moment. Rewind. The dice have been telling a fun story. What happened after that word, Bumpkin?
Oh, sorry. It was rolling damage. That's a 1. Roll it again. There's another 1.
Mm-hmm. She's learning to hit harder. She'll get there. Elora.
Yeah, so I do have a notepad, and I didn't write anything down because I was just having fun the whole time, and didn't no moment was like, oh, I gotta put that down. I was just absorbed in the game. I had a lot of fun. I think it was a great, what's the word? Cohesion of the party. Everybody coming together. I think it worked out really well, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I am a little nervous. The party do need to all walk in the same direction at some point. There is an odd moment where I just think that you might all just go, I think I'm just going to go off alone. All of you. But yes. Jack.
I will say, I think I'll say a specific moment for everyone's character is with Josh, it was the using Tim's shadow for his magic. I thought that was fucking brilliant. That was an awesome bit of role playing combat and stuff like that, because I love trying to role play during combat. I think I'm really bad at it personally, but when people do it's awesome. But I think Elora, bloody Anivari is just so standoffish in this fantastic way. Yep, nah, what? You know what I mean? Just one word flat answers. It's amazing that you can make that enjoyable, because you know what I mean? There's a line you could be, there's a line there where you could be that's just it's just boring, but you make it really enjoyable, and you can still engage with that, which I think is really impressive. And then Bumpkin Dinari, it's that moment of where your internet cut out when I was talking to you, and I think that was just so funny. It was a perfect timing, dude. It was comedic timing. Your internet has comedic timing.
Yeah, it's true. I have a few little moments of different people. I really liked Jakku tapping the beak of the bird as it stared down. I think it was Dinari.
Yeah, it was Dinari.
Yeah. Bumpkin coming up with even the forest doesn't want us.
Yeah.
Elora pulling up the fire stick. I actually gave you D4 for that. I thought it was really cool. Also, leaning away from the smell when you use lay on hands was quite hilarious. Jack's old shanty from the sea also earned you a D4. I thought it was a really cool moment, really flavorful and fit in really nicely. And Josh, I think the whole sort of utilizing people's shadows to do things, but also I really liked your response when Anivari complimented you on your magic, and it was clear it was the first time it had ever happened that somebody had shied away from it. So I really enjoyed that. Just a brief mention: Chas MVP is Willoughby. Who was a great caravan leader until he was replaced by a doppelganger, Willis, which I quite like, and also mentions Weary's lack of understanding of magic and people. We like the idea that every magic person knows every other magic person via the same telephone book. Yes, but I think it's you're right. It is going to be a really interesting cohesion of characters, as I'm hoping you stay as aloof, standoffish, odd, outcast, unusual as you are now, but bond together because of it. And so you're quite nice to each other, but still hard-skinned on the I hope that sticks around. I think it's going to be a really interesting vibe for a campaign where it's not a bunch of people pleasers, but a bunch of people haters. And, that kind of makes sense, given the way that people have treated you guys. But you've been outcast all the way to Norvino, where it seems like you might get some sort of welcome. And that is where we're going to end. So if you guys would like to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
We shall see you soon.